In a world where every Rob, Steve, and Lane has a podcast, two good brothers will try to rise above the rest. Howard Blues and the Mark Kidder invite you to pour a cold beverage, pull up a seat, and enjoy time with friends. Welcome to Beer, Blues, and BS.
Welcome to Beer, Blues, and BS. It's the podcast where one co-host leaves and I gain at least two more. I'm the man, the myth, the legend, Mark Kidder. Thanks for joining us for this edition of Beer, Blues, and BS. Just to my left, well, you know him. You've seen him before. He knows how to blast things like no other. He is the one and only JS Gunslinger. Welcome back to the show.
How we doing, Kidder?
I'm great, man. I'm about 5-6 drinks in, so I'm doing great.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
We are doing wonderful. Woo! And we have a special announcement.
What's the special announcement?
I don't know if anybody else knows this. Well, why don't we get the other guest on here first?
Okay.
And we'll do it.
You are correct. We remoting in to the show because normally we are in everywhere but together. On the other end of this digital wizardry is the brewmaster himself for Triple B, the local geek. Welcome into the show.
Hey, thanks, guys.
I'm honored to have both of you all here. Howard's too good to be with us tonight. I just have to show that or say that. He's going to give me shit for that, but you know what? It's worth it.
All right.
Because of all the nights, a special announcement.
It is. And so we have a birthday on the set tonight. And it's not only a birthday, it is the birthday.
Oh,
He tried to run away, but it is the Mark Kidder that has his birthday tonight.
it's true. It hasn't hit midnight yet, so it is still my birthday.
Another trip around the sun.
Woo!
That's right.
Here we go.
We have a gift for you.
A parting gift? Is
We
it
do. A parting gift.
time to get the hell out of
Last
here?
one, man. I'm taking over your show.
We're
Get out.
done. We're done. Oh, look at that. Local geek put his headphones down. He's out of here. He's like, screw this show. He went around the corner. We don't even know if he's coming back.
Disappeared into space.
He's gone.
Pretty soon, we're gonna have a phone booth show up, and he's just gonna vanish
Right.
in.
He snuck around the corner to get something. He's got like expert wizardry. What are you doing over there?
Oh, I was getting myself a drink.
Oh, okay. Perfect time. Like somebody else is saying something monumental and important. Well, I better leave.
So we got a present for you.
Well, thank you. Is there a machete in here?
It could be a machine gun.
Sweet.
Mhm.
I could use about 2-3 of those right now. Have you seen the economy lately?
We could probably make that happen.
You know, the funny thing
You
is
know who you're talking to, correct?
you and I have been talking about making an AR for about 5 years. So one of these years,
One of these years, he'll pony up and let me build one for him.
We're
and
gonna
we'll do
there.
that. But
first of all, thank you.
absolutely.
And salud. Let's take a look at what's inside the magic bag. What do we got here? Oh, the Dubliner, the Irish whiskey.
So that's what I was telling you about in the last show, and I've been the last one I was on, and was gonna bring you one several months ago. Figured this was a perfect time to do it.
Well, thank you.
Absolutely.
The honeycomb liqueur and caramel color in the Dubliner. What else do we? I mean, it's 30% alcohol per volume, so if you drink the whole thing, you're gonna get a little bit messed up.
It's good stuff.
It is good stuff.
What a beautiful bottle.
I
Thank you.
figured it went with the Irish attire we got going on here. So
It's true. Just you. I mean, it doesn't look like I'm even wearing pants. So there's that. That's a camouflage joke. I'm just making sure people get that. So thanks. Thank you.
absolutely.
Thank you for that. So it is sitting here at this moment on the Triple B set because I keep gaining shit. So we'll save this for, well, you know, I mean, it is a special occasion. So, I mean,
Might as well break it out.
let's open this sumbitch. How about that? Local Geek, you have an issue with that?
I have no issues with that.
Okay, good, because we're gonna do it anyway.
You have
I mean,
a way
let-
you can send me a shot?
Unless, I mean, I've been trying to work on the whole like sending stuff via Bluetooth, but I can't figure it out.
I mean, you do know where I live, so, and you know that this show goes for like 2 hours. It only takes about 20 minutes to get where you are, if you could, right behind you there. Thank you. Nope,
This one.
I did. I was gonna tell you on the way to meeting you the other day. It would have been yesterday, actually.
Yeah.
Saw a vehicle with the license plate. Sorry. OPESRRY, I think. So that'd be 7, right?
Yeah.
Sorry.
You got to throw a little bit more Norwegian in there.
Oh. Wow.
Right.
What? Wow. That is a good scent. I mean, you have the standard whiskey tones, but I mean there's the amber end of it where it's like a brown sugar taste to it or smell to it.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see. I mean, the honeycomb liqueur. Yeah, that delicious caramel, and it is a product of Ireland. Thank you. If you open the Triple B beer fridge on the top shelf, we have a couple highball glasses because that's what kind of classy show we are here.
Yeah, we better go with that one.
Yeah. Well, I guess you already have a glass, so
I do.
all right. The other one's also Star Trek, in case you were curious.
I was thinking maybe it was an avalanche glass, but you know.
I don't have a highball glass for the Avalanche. I just have a pint glass. Thank you.
Absolutely. That'll work.
Good to the last drop. Local Geek, if you would, we'll just drop that. Cheers to you.
Cheers.
All right. First of all, JS, thank you for the delicious gift there, because we're going to enjoy this.
Absolutely.
Second of all, thanks for coming over, hanging out, spending some time. Local Geek, thank you for remotely spending some time on the birthday bash of 2022.
Absolutely.
So thank you.
Like I said, I would have come over to the bars with you guys, but I was watching Little Guy tonight, so wasn't able to make it, and he had a tough time going to bed tonight too. So he just actually fell asleep right before you sent the invite.
See, perfect timing. It always works out to be a little bit late.
Exactly. I was late too. I had to crawl around underneath the trailer house. So, yeah, I get it.
And then, of course, we had to have a couple delicious drinks.
Yeah.
Tasty old fashioned. I mean, you enjoyed your old fashioned there.
That was really good.
Mm-hmm.
So the bartender knows what he's doing there.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Of course, the what we're referring to is a speakeasy in Bismarck. And just because we're mentioning them, don't want to leave out the delicious place I know you haven't been to yet. Local Geek's been there several times, and I've been there several times, and we need to go because they have one of the best old fashions in the region. It is wonderful place over in Mandan called Thomas and Moriarty's. And 510.2 is the place in Bismarck, the Speakeasy. So, you know,
There we go.
got to speak easy. So, giving a couple of quick shout outs to both of those. Anyway,
And I will absolutely meet you over there if you guys come over sometime.
except for tonight. Of course, it'd probably be loud over there. So,
Yeah.
tell you what, Local Geek, you know what we should do? Wednesday nights over there are old fashioned nights where they have a special. I think
Whiskey
they're
Wednesdays.
when $5 old fashions, I think is what they are.
I don't recall the price.
So if they're $5, they're $5. If they're not $5, then they're that price on Wednesday. So I'm just throwing that asterisk. But they're delicious. And maybe what you should do there, Local Geek, is set it up so then we come in maybe a little bit early. They have the place shut down. We can do a little bit of a show, get them involved. You know, I'm throwing you under there because you're a lot closer and you know how to work people and you're in the neighborhood a lot.
I do know that they have done podcasts inside their place before. I'll throw a shout out to the Ambibulous podcast. They're on a hiatus right now, but that's who they've done quite a few of them with them and a couple of them at Dialectic as well.
And of
Awesome.
course, Dialectic Brewing, if you didn't know, is right next door, basically to the west. And Local Geek knows those individuals very well. If you want to throw a shout, we're throwing shout outs to everybody right now. I mean,
Might as well.
Throw a shout out to our friends at Dialectic Brewing.
For sure, yeah, they're definitely a great place, and I haven't had a beer I didn't like there. So, and they now do ciders as well. If you're a cider guy,
Good to know.
And on top of that, I know you shared it in. It's been a few episodes already, but the brew that you have made, it's a very special recipe to your heart. Do you want to throw that out there again?
yeah, the mini DNA recipe, that's one they came up with, and they gave me a small batch recipe so I could make it myself.
Whoa! It's a Rudeboy Kyle. Boom, boom. He's busting in here like he knows the place.
What's happening?
Rasta man.
Got all kinds of action going on.
Welcome to the show, brother man.
Good to be here.
He's got the podcast voice a little bit going on. So welcome to Beer Blues and BS.
Happy birthday, brother.
Thank you, brother man. Now that the Rude Boy is here, we can officially throw a cheers out to all of our birthdays. It's another day and another year around the sun. So whether it's tomorrow, a week later, a month later, cheers to all of you. Thank you for being here. Cheers to everyone. And you watching or listening, happy birthday. Cheers to you. Oh, that is smooth, right? So, Rude Boy joined a little bit late from when we discussed the Dubliner Irish liqueur with Irish whiskey. But that's what I have right here. Oh, and then he puts his headphones down.
So being those two left, if you want to see something cool with a little bit of, it wouldn't do it anymore. With a little bit of Dr. Pepper in there, you can see it coagulating and swirling in there. The mixing of the two liquids. The Dr. Pepper really brings out the flavor.
I mean, this is pretty damn gorgeous by itself. I mean, look at the color in that. So, Rude Boy's back. Here is the Dubliner Irish liqueur right here. Have you had that before, Rude Boy?
I have not. What makes it tasty?
Well, there's a lot of notes of caramel in it, and then it's blended with, because it's a liqueur, it's blended with the Irish whiskey. So it's like a honeycomb liqueur, and then it has this gorgeous caramel color to it. And good old JS here brought that over as a birthday gift. So again, thank you for that. Appreciate it. He also had it on the show, I suppose about 2 months ago at this point. Maybe 3. There was snow on the ground.
Yeah, I didn't have it. I'd mention it that I'd found that was my new favorite. But I was moving snow at that time, so there was no alcohol consumption during that day. That's right. Of heavy equipment.
Yeah. With that day, there definitely wasn't.
It was just Operation Super Blizzard or whatever it was. Snowmageddon.
Yes, the Snowmageddon. Which that was an interesting time because obviously you are coming to us remotely. And by remote, I mean like the ghetto fabulous remote, phone in the pocket for the video. I believe Local Geek was in on that one too.
He was. I was. I have a much better quality phone now. So if we do this again, your audio and video will hopefully not be absolutely terrible.
It was pretty funny. But we're here. We survived Snowmageddon.
That's right.
At this point, I mean, practically the summer is over. I mean, call it. It's done.
I know.
It sucks. I hate it.
We still have August.
I mean, after my birthday, it's like, what else good happens?
Well, August is our only summer month. Everything else is just road construction or snow.
Oh, that's a good point. It's a good point. Local Geek, what do you think about that? I mean, you're actually able to get to your house this year.
I am able to get to my house this year. The place I'm not able to get easily is where I dump my grass this year.
Oh, all right. So they get you 1 year, and then the next year they get you elsewhere.
Every couple of weeks, I kind of curse about trying to drive over there and dump my grass pile.
That's how it goes. How about Rudeboy? How's your construction going?
It's going all right. Waiting on the fiber company bring the internet through for hopefully a change in service. But besides that, grass has stopped growing since we got plenty of heat and just tending to the weeds. So, yeah.
Perfect. I know for a fact that you're still obviously waiting on the interwebs and the fast fiber action and unlimited data.
Oh,
That's the key point. But I thought they were going to be there by now.
I thought they would too. I'll have to fire them another email, see if they have a better time besides summer of this year. But yeah, besides that, it's going all right. Just got a good brew on tap. That
what you got on tap there, Rude Boy? We haven't officially done a what's on tap.
Well, I've got the Confluence Southside Citra Blonde Ale, and reading from the back of the can. As his name implies, a single hopped Southside displays the sharp and zesty notes the aptly named Citra hop. Light and refreshing, our Southside Citra was crafted to capture the essence of a perfect summer day, just like today. A great birthday day.
Woo!
It has tangerine and orange peel. So it's got a good combination of zesty notes and something that's a little more mellow. So cheers to the birthday, man.
Woo! Have you had that one before, Rude Boy?
I have. Yeah, and it's a local brewery here in Des Moines. So it goes down smooth. It's got a little different taste to something that's a little more popular, like the fruity type ales, but it goes down smooth. If you like a little bit of tangerine, it's not so we'll say orangey, but it's got a good mellow fruit flavor that you don't need any fruit peel or pieces of fruit on the top. You just sip it and it goes down smooth.
On a 0 to 5, what would you give her?
I'd call it when you drink it in season in the summer, I'd call it a 4.3.
Well, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's good if you. It's named aptly after the south side of Des Moines where Confluence Brewery is located. So you can take your cans back and you get your redemption back, and they take care of you. So
those communistic states that charge you for the aluminum when you buy it in the store, so then you bring it back. It's a rebate. No, I'm getting my cash back.
5 cents.
The interesting thing, so last week, Howard and I, if you watched last week's episode, Howard and I both had the beer that JS Gunslinger is having, which is Farmer John's Multigrain Ale. And you know what? It just so happens that one there came from Des Moines as well, from the Confluence Brewery. Look at that thumbs up.
It's tasty.
Right.
How you enjoying it?
I had to raid the fridge at the set because he hadn't opened his present yet. So
you got some. Yeah, I mean his glass is empty. So you got something to drink. Let's open the fridge. Have one of them there drinks.
I haven't had a bad beer from Confluence yet. They kind of reach out and have a few that are a little on the experimental side, but they're all pretty decent. I've got one more from them too. For later.
One more from them for later. Good. We'll get a couple lawns mowed and other things happen by then. So sip on that tasty beverage. Local Geek, I saw you sneaking some sips over there out of that Triple B glass. So what's on tap for the brewmaster tonight?
Yeah, I happen to have something here. First, I wanted to make a comment, though, about the experimental beers. There's a brewery out of Sydney, Montana called Meadowlark Brewery. They have periodically a mushroom-infused beer, which I've not tried. I'm not a big mushroom fan, but I am curious about it.
They come with a side of gravy.
I don't know. It doesn't seem like a flavor profile that you'd expect in a beer. So.
With it.
Does it taste like mushroom, or did they just pull out the happy mushrooms and put them in there?
I'm thinking the earthy flavored mushrooms, not the happy ones.
I think I'm going to pass then.
So what I have here is, I think you can see it there, the Brother Thelonious Belgian Abbey Ale from North Coast Brewing. There's not a lot on the can for description, but I did pull it up on their website because it's got a little bit of an interesting backstory. Their description says, with all of the interest in Belgian ales and in the monasteries that brew them, it's time to remind the world that here in the U.S. we have a monk of our own, jazz legend Thelonious Monk. He's the inspiration for North Coast Brewing Belgian-style Abbey Ale with an ABV over 9%. This strong dark ale is rich and robust. The label features the jazz master himself, a portrait by California artist Eric Gribich. And then they make a donation off of every bottle or keg sold to jazz education programs, which is kind of a cool little thing.
Cool.
And then, as Mark mentioned, I have this in the Beer Blues BS glass. You can see the color of it there. It does have a really nice color.
Wow.
It's pretty dark, especially because you like the dark beers.
I do. Yeah, not so much during the summer. The winter, I'm all about dark beer. The summertime, like light, a little bit of lemon, maybe some orange. Our grapefruit beer is really good in the summertime. More of a light beer fan in the summertime, because I'm usually out on the tractor. It's hot, and I don't want to drink alcoholic chocolate milk when it's 100 degrees.
This one is actually a really smooth one, but it is on the darker side.
All right.
I picked it up at Willikers if you want to go look for it once the colder season hits.
Okay.
Definitely with the 9%, it is more of a winter beer, but
Yeah, absolutely.
Local Geek just likes to do that anyway because he's a fan of the biggest bang for your buck. He goes down into the basement and he's like, what's going to get me screwed up? But taste good while doing it.
I just actually have this one tonight because it's the only one I have downstairs that's cold. Everything else is upstairs.
You mean you don't have any of the special brews ready to go yet? You got bottles lined up, the kegerator ready to roll?
The kegerator actually is ready to roll. I'm going to be brewing a batch next weekend to put into it. But I do have bottles upstairs in the fridge of the Mini DNA, the Chernaya Koshka, and the Abner O'Neill.
Ah.
Making an Oktoberfest brew.
I have not done an Oktoberfest yet. That's
No,
something I might have to think about.
it's about that time.
I'm doing an Irish Red next weekend.
Okay.
There you go.
I will try that. I mean, I'll try all of them. You know that I'll try them and enjoy them.
Oh, yeah.
But,
I'm going to have a bottle for you and Howard to definitely have, and
well, thank you.
there's going to be some other surprises that come with it. So,
Something Mark's favorite beer is a really strong IPA. So you really need to brew him a straight up real strong IPA. He'll take the whole keg from you.
oh, that would be good because I don't like IPAs either.
Howard will like that one.
Uh-huh.
But you can actually see right about There. That's the CO2 tank for my kegerator right there that I just picked up today. It was the last thing I needed.
There you go. You doing a homemade one?
Yep. It's sitting on top of the kegerator.
Ah, awesome.
The taps are out on the front. That's the side view of it. So,
See, that's why he's the beer master for Triple B.
That's right.
Because not only we went on location and made a whole batch of beer with him, but we drank it later and it was good. So it's not like you just throwing some stuff together and like, I know what I'm doing. This is going to be good. And then you drink it and you're like, what kind of trash are you putting in a bottle? No, it was actually good.
There you go.
And the local geek knows what he's doing. So if we could really get him, I don't know, lined up with a business opportunity and kind of produce this, I mean, we could totally get him onto some kind of road where he could make millions of dollars.
There you go.
I mean, sometimes I do just throw stuff together and hope it works.
So you're just like every other craft brewery, like a Coors and a Coors Light.
I mean, sometimes you got to just try it, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But so far for me, it's worked out pretty good. So
I managed to accidentally make a really good apple cider that then turned into apple wine. We went out and hand pressed apples, made our own apple cider, and it was amazing. We left it in the garage fridge in one of those like big 5-gallon water jugs that you stick in the water coolers, and we forgot about it.
oh no,
And it sat in there for 6 months.
You made your own swish.
It was, and so we took this thing out, and we're like, "Oh, I should probably throw this away." And I'm like, "Well, I got to at least try it, you know. Maybe it's okay." Tried it. That was the best apple wine I have ever had. we passed it out. We got the whole family drunk. It was a great time. Brought it out for the reunion.
nice.
Have some apple juice, everybody.
It's juice, all right.
It was a great time. It turned out really, really good. I don't know how to recreate it or do it again.
Just need 6 months.
Yeah, 6 months must be the key.
Yeah, something like that.
What else is happening, Rude Boy? What do you got going on over there?
Well, the story you guys talking about making your own brews and everything. We, it had to have been about 8 or 9 years ago. I went down south of Des Moines to a coworker and friend's place that he had a home brew set up in his garage. Kind of looks similar to yours, where it just kind of had the plywood set up and he had his burner set up. And it was probably about a day like today, low to mid 90s. And we were out there and we just went with a red stripe clone. And we were trying to make that. It was a kit set up from Northern Brewer. And we were making it, and his neighbor walks over, and we step out of the garage where the brew setup is, out in the driveway, and we're in the middle of warming up the special grains. That it was kind of a prefab setup that had the grains and then the additive later on to add the flavor to it. So it was something that we stepped out in the driveway, we're chatting with his neighbor, and we smell this smoky scent coming from the garage, and it was kind of breezy out of the south, and his garage was facing south, so we're like, we turned around, and his plywood setup that he had his burner on all lit up, and kind of had a little charcoaly smell, but put out the fire, and because he had like tinfoil kind of lining all the plywood and everything. I wish I had picked it up.
On fire.
But man, that red stripe clone just turned out perfect. Man, it was
Gray beer.
Yeah, it was.
It was the extra smoke flavor you put in it.
I think so. It could have been. It was we turned around and his neighbor was half toasted from his drinks in the day, and we were I was like, what's that smell? And I turned it on, and I like start throwing water on the whole thing, and a little extra water here, a little extra smoke there, and
It's surprising what a little smoke will do for a beer.
yeah. There's actually a company down south that makes kind of a smoke top setup that you have the burner that you light up. That you kind of see the chefs make their burnt cheese or burnt whatevers, and they put in a little
Cheese. Sounds like after you have a bad Mexican meal or something.
but it's something that you put it over like a craft cocktail, and you make smoked cocktails with it. But I'm sure a smoked beer would be just as interesting to try and infuse different types of cherry flavors or oak flavors to just a basic beer to give it that extra lift and oomph. And
Yeah, I haven't tried that. I have had Thomas and Moriarty's used to do a smoked whiskey where they did it similar to how you're describing.
Yeah.
And then the Scottish ale that Mark and Howie came over and helped me make, that had smoked peat in the grains.
Yeah. Yeah, it's readily available on, let's see, if you look on Amazon there, if you just search smoke top cocktail, and
Anything's on Amazon.
but it's just something that it kind of has a wood outer layer and then a little chamber that you put some wood chips in, and you decide what kind of smoke you want to put into it, and give it a little fire on top of a glass with some drink in it. And
Yep, that sounds exactly like what Thomas Moriarty's had,
Yeah.
but they actually put tobacco on theirs instead of whiskey.
tobacco would work too. Middleton Mixology is the one.
Oh yeah, it was delicious. The one that they had.
Have you seen one of those? It is similar to what they were doing at 510.2 with the cocktails that they have where they smoke, but it's like this whole setup like this where you actually light the wood or whatever you're burning to get that flavor into the cocktail. Has a tube that comes out over this like globe that you put over the top of your glass.
Okay.
And you can do it a couple different ways. One, first where you do the glass by itself, and then two, where you mix part of the cocktail, put it in there, and then smoke it.
All right.
So then the liquid gets it, and then you can finish it off with your garnish or whatever else you put into it, and then serve it to the customer. Or they even have individual serve globes, where again that tube comes out, they pop it into the little globe, goes over the thing, and they put that whole piece where it's like a coaster, the globe, and then the glass is in the middle. They bring that out to the table, and then you, as the person who ordered it, pulls it off, and the smoke comes out. And then, of course, it's a very visual experience because, you're like, whoa, I just smoked this drink. It's sweet. And then you drink it, and it's even more powerful because it's been sitting for 2-3 minutes underneath that globe, just sitting there soaking up the smoke flavor of, redwood chips or cherry wood chips, or they're hickory, whatever you want to make the drink flavor like.
Huh.
And so
I haven't seen the fancy ones like that. The only ones I've seen are just the big glass you put over the top of them. You got a wood pallet or a wood plate. You put your shavings on there, light your shavings, put your glass or your globe over the top of it, and just let it smoke and then pull it off. That sounds pretty cool. I have to add that to my bar collection.
sounds good. So I have to tell your secret that you are building a classy bar in your basement.
I am.
And I'm sensing that we're going to have to do a road trip when it's done.
We are.
Do this show at the bar.
Absolutely. So the last episode, or prior to that, I was still sitting in my plywood dungeon in the basement. I now have all of the barnwood up on the walls.
Sweet.
So I've got 3 walls that are 110-year-old Douglas fir, and I have 1 wall that is brand new pine that looks just like 110-year-old Douglas fir because I had to recreate it.
So you just do like aging on it to make it look
Yeah.
like the other stuff.
Yeah, I made my own like wheel of death to go on the end of a grinder and distressed it and then painted it with red paint, sanded it off, put a real dark stain on it, sanded it off, painted it again, sanded that off, and then went over it and clear coated it with the lacquer.
You know, finish it, right?
Yep.
So how long did that whole thing take for just those, like the one wall?
The new ones that I made, about a month.
It's a labor of love.
Yeah.
But it's gonna look awesome when everybody gets to see it.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be cool. I made I've got 5 6-foot tall built-in cabinets that are in the one wall, and they're all made entirely out of cedar. Like I was able to source a bunch of cedar out of a basement here in town that somebody was getting rid of, and so it all the different like aged woods in there should come together pretty cool.
And then what? Because you're making a wet bar.
Yep.
Right. So what in your head do you have it kind of looking like? If you had to generally say what it looks like a J or a U, or just kind of this section of a corner, or like, what are you thinking when you make it?
We're still playing around with the finished bar setup. Right now we have a large 2-layer V almost. So it's a straight section, and it's got 2 wings coming off, or a wing coming off each end that we have now. So we got an upper sitting level, and then we got the lower level for the inside where the sink and everything will go. We're playing with that to see how we want to turn it and set it in the basement, or if we're just going to scrap that and I'm just going to make a custom bar and do a huge live edge epoxy table for that, or something else similar to that. I haven't decided if I want to do like a live edge epoxy set, or if I want to go kind of off the wall and take a harrow section and make a table out of a harrow section, because like my decks, the beams for the deck and the bracing for that are all made out of cultivator sections, or the center beams out of a cultivator. The center beam in my house is the center support beam from a 40-foot Westigo. I believe it was a cultivator when we did that one too. Okay. So cultivator or a 5-bottom chisel plow. I don't remember. We had both. I don't remember which one this one ended up being, but sweet. So yeah, so it might be something
rustic,
kind of cool. yes, very rustic, farm orientated. You know,
sure.
I'm trying to make the basement look like you're going into a barn when you go in the basement, go down there. So
Sure.
2 of the best things about it. Number 1, the ghost of Jimi Hendrix is still there.
Yep. Right.
Unless you like did some voodoo and kicked him out.
I have not used any of the black magic to get him out yet.
Okay. So in case you're wondering, the first time JS was on the show, he's like, I'm going to go make a drink. I'll be back. And he had to go upstairs to make the drink. There was some kind of whatever that sounded basically like Jimi Hendrix playing in the background, but nobody was there.
No, I have no idea where that came from.
Nothing was happening, but it was cutting over to his feed. So we just believed that it was the ghost of Jimi Hendrix. So out of everybody that Jimi Hendrix could have attached to, he's sitting right here, living in his basement, the ghost of Jimi Hendrix.
The voodoo child.
Some good, tasty fire drinks happening in his basement here pretty soon. And then number 2, everything's homemade. So, I mean, it's going to look awesome when it's done. I mean, what you had done so far looks fantastic, but when you actually get to finishing it, it's going to look even better than what it does already. So if you need some recommendations about, like, I don't know, LED lighting and colors and recessed this and that, I might know a guy. I'm just going to
I will keep that in mind. I'll contract you. You can build a program for my LEDs that are going to go into the ceiling. So
you got a remote for that.
Yeah. I need a
what does www.amazon.com have on stock?
So you keep offering him to do stuff, and it's not right. So I don't know.
No. I do what I can. I mean,
We'll make it work.
the remotes that I have, so obviously don't look at them, but these two, like,
Right.
because if you look at them, then you're not going to be able to see anything other than dots for about 10 minutes. But
Yes.
these lights,
See, I'm going for like a twinkling star pattern or like a wave or recreate like the northern lights, because you're going to be able to see that in the ceiling through the holes in the tin that are going to be up there.
that when you're thinking of that, we could work on that. I was just thinking of like recessed lighting underneath the bar, so then you have some like accent lighting around, and then you
we'll get to that too.
you can
but-
control it kind of like the background lighting over there.
Right.
Obviously, it's blue now. The remote's over there. I don't feel like moving to get it, but Local Geek's got some background lighting. It's just what's reflected off the white door behind him.
It is just white right now too.
The cool thing with his setup is that he has an app, and Rudeboy actually has the app too, just not in the kitchen there, Rudeboy.
Well, I do have the kitchen lights on a custom setting right now. They're
Is it just custom dark?
I can make it whatever you want it to be. Basically, it's through the. I don't have the full hub, but it's through the Panasonic Whiz lights. You can get them at Home Depot. They're about $10, $12 a piece. And we splurged I splurged for 5 of them for the chandelier here. And let's see.
About $350.
But yeah, it's controlled through an app on the phone here. You can't really see it, but I've got a setting for the kitchen, the garage, and the entrance lights on our front porch. And this is on the focus setting, but we can change it to daylight or cool light or the night light. Where you can go cozy. But I had it on the focus setting because it seemed to look okay for the podcast, but I can change it to TV time. You can barely see me. And
He's coming out from the shadows.
See both screens.
but yeah, they all kind of have a little different
Going back
presets.
and forth between the brewmaster and Kyle here. It's kind of entertaining.
But yeah, this is
Rudeboy looks like he's broadcasting from the depths of the darkness, like he's in some kind of Pirates of the Caribbean movie. And then Local Geek looks like he's coming to us straight from hell.
Well, Howard usually has the red going, so I try not to steal that from him.
There you go.
Yeah, he actually has. I mean, like I do with the lights in front of us. So what he does is he moves it. So then he's got one light that's kind of an accent lighting, and the other light giving him, the light in front of him. But these lights come with gels, like the old school lights in a theater, for instance. So we have red.
Mhm.
I mean, you look.
Yeah,
Does that look better? And then you got blue, which blends in everywhere. And then you also have yellow. So if you end up putting them in front of it, you can see that you got the yellow, or you put two of them together, and then you get that. Or if you want like green, then you put the two of them together like that. So that's what those lights specifically have. The old school method where you can slide in the gels over just the LEDs. These LEDs have the warm to cool option. So you have the pure white versus the yellow light.
Gotcha.
Which is nice. And if you notice the light over there, very bright now. That's because I had to change that bulb. Turns out that the lights they put in up here were all dimmable bulbs in a on-off switch. Very smart, I know, but you would turn the switch to that one and it wouldn't come on right away. It'd take about 10 to 20 seconds for it to actually turn on. So I'm like, bulb's going. Unscrew it, dimmable. What the hell? So we fixed that problem and got that brighter daylight LED bulb over there. But
I know a guy that could probably put a dimmer switch in for you.
that's true. But I like it as bright as the sun when I need it. So
Solar flare.
it's true, a dimmer
both.
switch.
You could dim it down so you could be in your dungeon when you wanted. And then
Yeah,
when you want the sun,
right?
you just push the switch up,
I
and
suppose.
you know.
That would be good. Because the switch over there for these is the only switch, but the switch for that one in the corner is a 3-way switch.
Oh yeah,
which makes it even,
more fun.
Yeah. But as I was saying, the light that's in the way back over there tonight, we got her in the blue. But fine, you push me into it. I understand. Fine. Hold on. Let me get it. Here's the remote. You see, you got the fancy little remote here, so you can.
You're all high tech.
If you want it red, you got that. If you want it orange, sure. If you want a little bit oranger toward the yellow, you can do that. Or if you just want yellow, even white. I mean, it's more of a blue white, like pure white, but it's still white, or maybe green. You like bright green. You like green.
I do.
I mean, us being Sioux fans, right? So there's that. Or maybe a turquoise. There's that, or the greenish turquoise, like aqua, or an aqua, the blue that it was on, or look at that.
You got purple.
We got the purple. We got the purple, and the light blue, and then the blue there. So, and then you can even do it on a flashing, so where it's just like party mode.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, the camera loves that.
It's true. And I can't make it any faster than that. That's just a flash. It is as never mind. I can. Yes, I did not know that I could do this.
There you go.
I can make it
For those future Howard, you may want to put in a seizure warning for this part. You don't want to cause any wrecks or any medical conditions.
Slow that down. That's supposed to be the brightness indicator.
Yeah.
Okay. So then you can do the smooth. So then you can apparently just
there you go.
With the fast smooth. Look at that. It just really goes through it. Or I guess you slow it down too. But and then there's a timer. So let's go back to blue. And then it's as bright as it can go, because that's what it is. But there you go. Real simple. The colors, it is what it is. And then the regular, there it is. Behind the scenes, the remote. It's supposed to be, you can do A and B. So one light, or just have them both on one. And then, on or off. Or even change the color temperature of the light. But the brighter the better in broadcast. That's what we say.
Right.
And here we are. Just don't look at it. You're fine.
I'm getting didn't look at it, just look towards it. Now I'm getting
don't do that.
Squares.
Yeah.
Put your sunglasses on before you do any changes.
Yeah.
I think each of these lights has 32 LEDs in them. I think it's 32 because typically they're in like multiplicities of 8.
Gotcha.
So I think it's 32. It might be up to 64, but again, I don't remember when I ordered them.
Did you just say multiplicities?
Yeah.
Pretty sure that's not a word.
Oh, it is not. This is Beer Blues and BS. We can do whatever we want.
The one that used to correct my grammar all the time, but I'm pretty sure multiplicities is not a word.
Well, I mean, multiples. How about multiples?
That's better.
We'll just say multiples.
Have another double in there.
Hey, look, Rudeboy's got an episode title for this, even though Howard's the one who comes up with them. It's multiplicities.
It's like a Rush album.
We're going to do, Speaking of Rush, since you brought that up, I know that you weren't there because we met at a place called Jimmy V's. Hey, you got the Mambo Italiano Jimmy V's here. Locally owned place. Tasty pizza, tasty Italiano. If you I know, thank you.
You need just a touch of Dr. Pepper in there. You really do.
Oh, I thought you were going to say a touch more, Mike. I can give you more, no problem.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
So Jimmy V's here in town, which of course right next door basically to 510.2, where we met for dinner before heading upstairs to the Speak Easy. The audio when we got in there was some twangy backwoods country.
So it was good stuff, you're saying?
No, it was top 40 country.
Oh,
so
nobody likes that stuff.
Exactly. And then the missus goes, "You should ask him to change it because I could change it." I'm like, I'm not paying attention to the music. Like, I whatever. It is what it is. Not 5 minutes later, a song comes on, and I'm like, I know this song. And I'm listening to it. It's, you know, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm like, this sounds like Rush. So, handy dandy phone, boop, 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 listens to it. This is Rush. It's the 2112 Overture. And I'm like, I knew it. I knew it was the 2112 Overture, which is the title track from the album 2112. The fun fact about the 2112 Overture is the song is over half an hour long.
Yes.
So it's playing and playing and playing. And then it kind of dies out a little bit and it comes back and it comes back. And I'm like, it's still playing. She's like, I know, it's still playing. I'm like, it's still going. Like, this is Rush. Somebody played this song in this place. Who were you? Thank you. Thank you for taking up half an hour of this so we didn't have to listen to shit. I'm not like an over-the-top Rush fan, but it's way better than listening to garbage country.
I will agree with you on that one. I'm obviously a fan of country music, but this new stuff sucks. It's not. I feel like I'm going to recreate the scene from Aliens here in a minute.
Or what's the other movie that there's something like that? It would be one of those late 80s, early 90s films where the chick in a dress being interrogated.
That's Aliens.
Is it Aliens?
Yeah, Aliens.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
It's Sigourney Weaver.
Yep.
Sitting in the chair, and she flashes everybody and gets out of the interview.
Shazam!
Yes.
Okay.
I feel like I'm going to recreate that here anytime.
Well, here's the good thing for those of you watching and listening. We're on YouTube, so it can't be anything that's more than PG-13.
Perfect.
So thank you, censors, for kicking us off.
Future Howard can have some fun edits putting.
That's just what he's looking forward to when he comes back.
Terms
What
of
the hell did you guys do? How did you get an X rating on this? What?
This podcast is for mature audiences only.
Mm-hmm. Viewer discretion is advised. Well, with that, I'm thirsty again, and even though I'd like to hit the Dubliner again and have another 3 fingers of whiskey, might get a little sloppy by the end of the podcast, so I'm going to take a step back.
I mean, you're already making up words that don't exist.
Oh, I do that normally.
See, there was the ope.
Oh.
His inner Norwegian is coming out.
Sorry there. You know, I still have living relatives over there in Norway, so it's one of those true good things there.
I'm actually on a Facebook group with one of our current relatives.
Yeah.
Yep.
There we go.
It's pretty cool. She sends us pictures all the time, and yeah.
Of
Norway.
Oh, okay.
Her family.
Okay.
And the old pictures from our ancestors, from my great grandpa and whatnot.
Okay.
Not those kind of pictures.
I just wanted to clarify. I mean, you and I had some information coming recently about things on the internet.
She's not sending us CSAM. Okay.
Okay, good. For those of you who don't know, don't ask. Just don't do it. Don't type it. Don't search it.
Do not Google CSAM.
Stay away from it.
Don't do it,
please. For you, that's an advisory. Stay. Okay. Let's do what's on tap. That's a lot safer.
I'm gonna slip away to the upstairs fridge and find another beer.
Woo! You do that. He's gonna run away. He's got the green in the background. Rudeboy's finishing his, so we're in a perfect time to do a what's on tap ×2. This one, yes, it comes to us from the Des Moines area again, courtesy of the Rudeboy Kyle who got up and he's gonna do his thing. But as you can see, it's a 319. Back Pocket Brewing. It's the 319 lager, 12 fluid ounces, and a 4.5 alcohol percent per volume.
Hell to the yeah.
Not the highest we've ever had on this show, because originally one of the beers from the local Geek was up into the 12s.
Yeah. I mean, he does have it like a 9% going on right now.
Yes.
So
He's got some good stuff happening over there. This one is from Coralville, Iowa.
all right.
So again, a somewhat local brewery from the Des Moines area. I say that in general area because I have no idea about the geographical location of these breweries in Iowa.
You're not an Iowan expert.
Not yet.
We're gonna have to work on that.
We have been definitely working on it with the weeks spent each year in the Des Moines area.
There you go.
What brewery are you looking up there?
This here's the Back Pocket Brewing in Coralville, Iowa. So that's how many miles from Des Moines is Rudeboy Kyle, a local expert on Des Moines.
It's about, I'll call it maybe 100 miles east. It's by the Iowa City area. Coralville's in the suburbs, we'll say
Suburbs.
western suburbs of Iowa City. So it's something that they make some good brews too, and there's definitely been a explosion over the past 5-10 years of really good quality brewing in Iowa, and we'll say you chose a good one there, Mark.
So this one being the 319er, is that the area code for Coralville?
I don't know. Let me look it up.
Well, Rude Boy's doing some fact checking because that's what we want to do is get the realest words and facts on this show.
That's right.
This crushable American light lager is brewed with flaked corn and North American two-row barley for a light, easy drinking Iowa flavor. 4.5 alcohol per volume by what I mentioned before. The IBUs in this are 13 and again 12 fluid ounces in this 12-ounce can. Now, JS, what would you say with the two-row barley? What would you assume that to be?
Two-row barley?
Like they take 2 whole rows and throw it in a can?
Two-row barley is a different, or is just a strain of barley. You have different strains of barley, and I cannot name any or all of them. We don't do a whole lot with grains and cropland. I'm doing more hayland, hay for the cattle, horses, things of that nature.
Hey,
exactly. However, the two-row barley is a different form of barley from. There's several different variant subspecies.
Sure.
Whatever word you want to use. In there.
Basically a variant.
Yeah, that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Elaborate a little bit on that. The 2-row, if you look at the stalk of grain, there are 2 rows of seeds that go up the head of it.
Yep.
And that's why he's the brewmaster for Beer, Blues, and BS.
I knew what it looked like, but that's about it.
Yeah, that's the extent of my knowledge on it right there too.
All right.
There's not even a picture of it on here. It just says 319, 319, which I mean is a really good number. I do have to say it's a really good number. Also, more info at backpocketbrewing.com.
You know it says crushable on there, so we could make Mr. Kidder here shotgun a beer and have a good time for the party.
It's true. I don't feel like cleaning the carpet though.
Well,
Where's the tarp?
Yeah, Howard has that. He took it on vacation.
come on, Kidder, you can do this.
Oh, my knife's upstairs. I was like, "Where's my knife?" Oh, right.
Here we go. Let me help you.
Wait, there's another one up there.
We
got one right here.
It's my other knife. Oh, even Rude Boy's got one. He's pulling out the shank.
There we go.
Yeah, he lives in proper Des Moines, so he's got to have a knife on him. You stay away from me, fools.
I left mine upstairs too.
The south side does not have negative connotations here.
I'd bring out the handgun, but I don't think you want to shotgun a beer and have a bullet hole in the carpet.
It's like South Park and R. Kelly. And then I pulled out my gun. Like, ah! So the scent. So, I mean, take a whiff of this one. That's got a nice golden scent to it, huh?
It does.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
You know, that definitely could be a nice chuggable drink. I mean, if it weren't, I don't know, $4 a can,
Well,
it definitely would be like a super drinkable thing.
it is definitely not Busch Light.
Correct. It actually has flavor. The latte is not present tonight.
Yeah, but it's for the farmers.
Correct. John Deere. Let's get the John Deere sponsorship on it.
See, I'm surprised they didn't up it to $3 a can as soon as they put the John Deere label on there. And anytime I gotta buy parts that have John Deere paint on them, it's like an extra 100 or 10, 20, maybe 30%, just because it's got the John Deere paint. So yeah.
Gotta find the what would be the like generic part brand that you potentially could get if it wasn't an OEM specific part.
Herschel makes a large amount of aftermarket farm equipment replacements, sickles, sections, guards, rake tines, all of that stuff, which is what most of the places around here carry is Herschel brand parts. So yeah,
good. I unfortunately did not win the contest where I could win a John Deere riding mower.
Oh, man,
I did not.
You're gonna have to get your jollies in doing virtual lawn mowing now.
It's true. The lawn mowing simulator, Rudeboy Kyle and I, we have pattern contests of who can stripe our lawn better. What percent can we get?
There you go.
Last one I did was like 97%. So I mean, the game.
What?
I had time on my hands. There was snow outside.
I mean. Is it a Craftsman in the garage, or is it a Toro?
That's a Toro.
It is.
It is a Toro.
Well, I mean, I want to see some fine 97% striping in this beautiful yard you got going out here.
I don't have a striping kit.
Oh, come on.
I looked into it. And number one, my mower isn't compatible with the striping kits because those are more for the commercial grade, professional type mowers. So I'm like, nah, I mean, I could strap it onto the back or what. I can figure it out, right?
You know who you're talking to.
I know. We could weld it.
Work.
We could make it work. But my neighbors or I should say my one neighbor specifically calls my lawn or yard the golf course next door already. So
might as well give them a little bit extra.
If I start striping it, they're gonna expect like that I come through theirs or something. I don't know.
Number one, that sounds like an excuse. Number two, the remaining 3% has to come from those lilac bushes.
You're damn right. Ran over that some bitch. It was a good 18 odd years ago now, and that some bitch. I wonder if I have
or those on the damages and the. You can't mow those type damages.
I mean, you can try and mow them, but you have to be an expert to be able to do it correctly.
Correct.
Did I tell you? I mean, because I know you've been busy, so I'm sure you haven't seen the episode. But the story of the lilac bush.
I do not believe I have heard said story.
Okay, so whenever you hear about the lilac bushes, it involves me and a riding mower.
All right.
First of all.
All right.
Second of all, it was at my parents' place. And at the time, I think I was back for the summer from like my first or second year of college. So we're talking 04, 05, somewhere in there.
All right.
Dad ended up getting a riding mower, which very helpful, even though his yard at the house, not as easy for a riding mower because it's a residential home, right? Like my yard's super easy for a mower. It's flat, it's big, there's nothing in the way. He put trees and everything else. So you got to go around these freaking evergreen trees. You're like, oh, damn it, get the crap. Just come on. At this point, they weren't that big like they are now. and he refuses to trim the branches on the bottom to get around. I don't want the people to get around the bottom of them, or whatever the case is. And I'm like, just cut the damn branches in the bottom. You can't mow around them. Whatever. Okay. So again, back in time, up in the corner of the lot, he planted 2 lilac bushes.
Right.
By one of them, he put either, I think it was a stake or a little flag, like one of those that you would put when you get your yard checked for underground utilities.
Absolutely.
Little flag. The other one just had a bunch of grass around it that blended in with the other grass around it. So there's me. And I do have to mention that the funny guy who was also on an episode 2 weeks ago, he was visiting, and he and I were laughing and playing video games or whatever. And so then Dad's like, hey, go mow the lawn. I'm like, fine, I'll go mow the lawn. It'll take 20 minutes, whatever. So Mom, Dad, and the funny guy are in the house. Mom was also helping with the bagging of the clippings because we were bagging the grass at the time. So I'm over mowing, listening to my headphones because, again, at this point, we don't have Bluetooth headphones, headsets, anything. So I got the
good old Walkman.
Or
did you have a CD? A portable CD
player? I had the portable CD player.
There you go.
So, again, in my pocket, it was, the whole pocket. Tick, 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 tick. Tick, 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 tick. Yeah. And again,
the good old days.
The headset. So I'm turning the corner, and I look over and out the window, and I'm like, the hell? And I'm like looking around, and I'm like, there's twigs coming out of the ground back there. Going, and of course, Mike tells it better because he was, a witness to both sides of it. So go back and watch that episode for the full reaction. But essentially, I ran over one of the 2 lilac bushes.
Oh, yeah.
Which is where you run over the damn lilac bushes. Somebody's typing something in the chat. I see some chirping from the audience. So that's where the lilac bush comes from. The long joke of the whole thing, and by long joke I mean almost 20 years of this damn thing. That bush is twice the size of the other bush.
You see, you just did some proper trimming.
That's what I'm saying. So I did it a favor, and
exactly.
it became so big. The week or two ago, Mom and Dad trimmed the sumbitch, and they ended up with a pickup truck load of branches and shit from the 2 lilac bushes.
I have to start calling you the hedgemaster.
Maybe. I mean, There's certain things I can do, and running shit over is one of them.
Remind me never to put you on the sickle mower.
I mean, you point me in the direction, as long as there's nothing between point A and point B, I'm fine.
The last field I did, you'd have been great at. The field I'm cutting right now, not so much.
Boulders?
There's shit everywhere in this thing. Not so much rocks, but trees and hills and more trees and really steep hills and a river and more trees. And yeah,
I could maybe avoid the trees in the river, but
I kind of I made my first 2 rounds, and it ended up looking like the state of Texas by the time I was done with everything. I thought, oh my god, it's terrible, but we'll make it work. There's a lot of hay there, so it's worth it. And then with last year being as dire as it was, I'm going to take every acre of hay I can get this year. So,
round 2 of the Confluence Brewery. I've got Over the Ivy Czech style Pilsner.
Ooh,
and it is a World Beer Cup 2022 Gold Award for a Bohemian style Pilsner. So, yeah.
What was that first one you had again?
The first one?
Yeah.
Let me pull it up. The first one was the Southside Citra Blonde Ale.
Nice.
You know, there's a Moby song called Southside. You think that influenced that beer from Confluence? Because there's a confluence from the influence.
It could be. I mean, it's something that they're located on the south side of the river, down by the lake, Gray's Lake. Shared a paddle on.
We navigated that sumbitch.
Yeah. So, but yeah, the Czech style Pilsner has a good taste to it. I'd say it's well rounded. Reading the back of the can, going through the BS because it's obviously baseball themed, but they say this one takes a little longer to brew. Let's see.
Sounds like an excuse. Takes longer to brew.
Well, it's because it's a Pilsner. It takes longer to brew.
Oh, all right, sure.
But
That just means they can add another $1 to the can.
oh, actually, it was the cheapest of the 4-packs that that Confluence had. So,
Tastes like shit.
and I had the Hy-Vee craft brew card saver. So I had 5 punches on my card. I got $5 off. So it was only
5 punches in the face. You'd be happy to get $1 off.
no. It was it was only like $10.49. So it was slightly cheaper than paying bar prices. Crisp, refreshing taste. Great pairing for long-awaited victories. But yeah, if you guys like Pilsners, these are a good grab. I'll cheers to that.
I just like good drinks that, taste good.
Same here. And a Pilsner definitely would be a nice, easy drinker, I would think.
Yeah. It has its roots in the German style Pilsner. If you were to have something like a
this kind of drink is good, yeah.
but yeah, if you guys like a good German Pilsner, this is not too far off from that taste profile.
So that voice, just because I know you're like, are you okay? You having a stroke? He had that look.
I mean, I've come to expect this by now for as long as we've been together.
It's
So,
true. It's true.
The random voices just come out of nowhere. Sometimes I'm impressed, and sometimes it's kind of he's just not okay.
It's one of those voices. We're going there. Yeah. That one is like the show Aqua Teen Hunger Force. There were 2 of these aliens on this spaceship, and the one alien talked like that specifically, and I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but this is great, yeah. This whatever they were supposed to be, but they're flying through space. Did those guys just flip us off? And then the other guy's like,
The Moonanites.
and the 2 that they're referring to were the Moonanites, Enignot and and they look like computer chips. They look from the moon. Again, this whole show, Aqua Teen Hunger Force. I mean, the name itself, right, like implies that it's messed up. But Space Kataz, which was their like mini series of these between the 2 aliens. One was orange and one was what was it, green, right, Rude Boy? I think it was green.
Yeah, one was green, one was pink.
And then the Moon Knights, one was neon green and the other one was pink. And was like a mini version. So yeah, you got to see it.
That sounds like a whole lot of useless information that I really have no time for. The only thing I know of Aqua Teen Hunger Force is there's a talking styrofoam cup.
Shake.
There you go.
Yep.
See? That's the extent
Shake
of my
Zula,
knowledge.
the Mike Ruler, the old schooler. Mm-hmm.
That is the extent of my Aqua Teen knowledge.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I'm okay with that.
Meatwad was one of the better characters as well because of his innocence.
I think meatwad is one of the things we used to call people in high school. When,
Yep, the rolling ball of hamburger.
Oh, well.
Ron Jimmy said I see this pretty crazy out there.
Yeah, see, my useless knowledge is spouting off the names of random things that Howard was showing me on pictures and getting them right.
It's true. This gun
you
did
know.
this. This gun's named that. This gun came from there.
He
That's why he's JS the Gunslinger.
showed me a picture, and I went, "Hey, that's an M137 flamethrower." And he's like, "Yeah, yeah, it is." I'm good at a couple things. That's one. Not very many others.
Identifying guns, talking about guns, mentioning guns, thinking about guns. That's one.
Yeah,
Drinking good alcohol. That's number 2.
right. I mean, I don't want to like throw too many titles out there, but I mean, I'll gladly claim the fastest gun in the upper Midwest.
If I know that both Local Geek and Rudeboy haven't seen this guy do the old West like pistol shooting, basically. Pew pew. But this sumbitch right here. Don't be on the other end of the gun. Let me just say that. That's why he's the gunslinger.
I mean, I put a few rounds downrange, but we'll put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to go shooting with you sometime.
He would come to work and tell me, "Yeah, on the way here, there's some targets," because he got the targets set up. He's like, "Yeah, I walked out and I just shot like 8 rounds down or whatever, and 8 out of 8, I'm fine." Okay, so you just come out the front door and start shooting stuff. Well, yeah, I may live in the middle of nowhere, so it's fine.
It helps to have the space and to put up some target downrange, and
You forget it. It's 98 yards from my front door to the steel plate rack I have up there.
Mhm.
So, you know,
what's 2 yards?
it's not too bad.
Don't
So
piss
this
him off. I'm just gonna throw that out there. So I'm glad to be on his good side. Okay, oh, he's the gunslinger.
this might be the most off the rails what's on tap you've ever had.
I mean,
So-
are we still on that? Oh yeah,
Yeah, I haven't gone yet.
He hasn't even said his beer. He's got some kind of red barn.
Oh,
I got the Liftbridge Farm Girl.
We're gonna have to.
Is she
we're
hot?
gonna have to blur that out.
She
I
hot?
mean, I'll let you be the judge.
All I can see is a glare. So
Yeah, it's blurring itself out.
How's that?
there you
And
go.
it says on the edge of the can, when the chores are done, time for fun.
Oh,
It's a golden ale brewed with orange peel.
a little bit of brown chicken, brown cow going on.
Now remember, bestiality is wrong.
It goes with other
Okay?
things.
It's wrong. Goes with other things. That's a no-go.
I might have to take another shot of that Dublin.
You know what?
Bottoms up.
Before Local Geek starts telling us about his farm girl he's got on reserve.
As long as he doesn't start talking about like farm sheep, we're good.
That's bad.
You better be careful, or I'm going to give you a can of Farm Girl.
I will drink the shit out of that. Okay. Nice.
Nope, I don't have any ice in this one.
Man.
This
Where's
one's
the ice?
beer cooler. Or a can of actually there's yes, 1 can of the Starlight Coke.
Have you had it?
Yes.
Tried it?
Yes.
Really good.
It's not bad. It's not bad. And I don't remember if I've had it on the show. I think I've had it on the show, but
You
that's
did.
why that can's in there to make
Gotcha.
sure I have it on the show. But I have other stuff upstairs of the Starlight Coke, so I'm like, I don't know if I had it on the show, whatever.
You have it on episode 62.
It's kind of like cherry Coke and cotton candy
Yeah, it's weird.
with Coke.
Yeah.
It's-
My wife said it tastes like a sugar cookie.
Huh. I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Coke and a sugar cookie.
I couldn't place it. I honestly kind of got that like really stale Coke flavor taste out of it.
There was some of that
Like-
too. It's weird.
I'm talking can that's been open for a month in the fridge, stale Coke flavor,
Throw it out after a
But-
day, man.
but it was really good. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And then I attempted to try and do a no sugar diet and stop drinking pop. So yeah.
Well, I'm not offering you a pop out of that fridge, so
right.
stay out of there.
All right. It's been working. I mean, I'm.
That's right. There's video and audio evidence that I am helping with your diet, so your wife can't be mad at me.
There you go. There's no sugar in Dubliner.
It's all been fermented out.
Yep.
That's why we got the brewmaster on here. You see?
See? Never mind that there's multiple kinds of liqueur in there. There's no sugar.
So this farm girl that you got over there. I mean, what do you got?
You keep cutting you off.
What do you got happening over there, local geek? Huh?
She's pretty good. I do enjoy this one. It's a pretty light, easy drinker. Color's quite nice. And then the flavor, you pick up a little bit of that orange flavor on there. It's not quite like a Blue Moon, but it's similar.
Okay. No corn fed in that one?
Nope. Don't think so.
I mean, she didn't look corn fed, so
Starved. Which is a whole other thing, and that's wrong.
yes.
It's wrong.
We don't need to go back into training.
No, stop. It's back this train. No, we can't go on the train either. Back this thing up. Let's get back to reality. Rudeboy, you still you drinking on that other Confluence beverage over there?
Yeah, still working on the over the Ivy right there. So yeah, the Pilsner's going down smooth.
Same.
Yeah.
I'd say it sounds like your farm girl might be similar to the South Side taste, the citrus ale.
Yeah, probably pretty similar.
A little bit of orange, a little bit of tangerine in there. So
The tangerine.
yeah, it's good because you have more than just one flavor profile, or like you said, the popular citrus brews kind of tend to have just one, but with this you have both orange and tangerine in the flavors, so it's a little more complex, but it's still easy going down in the warm months.
Interesting.
Kitty. Orion said that he wants to be on a show. He told me that he needed to be on the show, right?
I'm not gonna make the cat joke right now. Not gonna do it.
Listen, I got two of them, and I know what's going on. But
You ever tried to make like a grapefruit or a lemon or orange beer?
I have done orange. I did a Blue Moon clone,
Okay.
and that one was actually, I think, the first episode these guys had me on.
All right.
But it turned out really good. It's probably my second favorite beer that I've made.
All right. That Liney's grapefruit, the grapefruit shandy is like one of my favorite beers I've ever had. I love it.
I like all of the shandies Liney's done, except I wasn't a big fan of the ginger one.
Oh yeah, I'm not a huge ginger fan. If I'm drinking ginger, it's got to be in a mule. And then they have a lemon haze IPA that just tastes like a lime haze IPA. Tastes like a lime Christmas tree. It's terrible. I used the last three I had for targets. Put it that way. I can't do it. But like the grapefruit, the orange, the peach, the lemon, those are great.
I don't think I've had the peach before. We bought the sampler a few years ago, and I think it had the grapefruit, the orange, and of course the typical lemon.
Yep, 2 or 3 years ago, it came with the ginger shandy.
Yeah, that's the one we had.
Last year, they replaced the ginger, got rid of that, and they put in the peach haze, I think, and then that lime Christmas tree. Lime Christmas tree needs to go away.
that's kind of like, let's see, if you missed the episode where Howard lost the bet, He had to drink a White Claw.
Oh,
And it wasn't just a regular White Claw. It was one of the like specialty flavor White Claws.
Oh.
Yep, it almost killed him.
It was the iced tea one.
What's that?
It was the iced tea one, which.
Oh, so it was iced tea TV static.
Yep.
Lordy, that sounds terrible.
Yeah, I feel bad for him. I mean, I'm thankful that I won the bet because then I didn't have to drink it. But again, somebody who bought this garbage in the first place, and it wasn't Howard. He didn't buy it.
Who finances this stuff?
It was his sister-in-law. She purchased it for 4th of July party. I think is what it was, and it was like one that was left, so it was gifted to him. And of
The
course,
leftover sampler, it sounds like.
I don't remember if it was a sampler or if it's like a 12-pack that was purchased specifically this flavor. But again, it was given to Howard, and then he goes, "Would you like to make a bet?" And I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know, because I don't want to have any part in that. But you know what? We need content on this show.
Exactly.
Which tonight, there's a little bit of content. So, just like that, let's do it. Let's make a bet. And of course, he's not here tonight, so he can't refresh my memory what the actual bet was. I think it was related to a pay-per-view. Whoever got the higher score wouldn't have to drink it.
Yeah, when you're wrestling bets.
Wrestling, yep.
I
think that's what it was. A local geek, he's kind of our memory bank for the show. He's like the statistician and brewmaster. Not only does he keep track of the tasty beers that we drink, but he makes us beers, and then he's a super fan. So
there you go.
So he knows like everything. He's like, yeah, that one episode is episode number 72 that this one is, and this and that happened, and et cetera, et cetera.
See, I haven't had any recent road trips to binge listen to the rest of the episode, so
you have to have a long road trip.
I mean, last night was the most sleep I have gotten in about 2 months. So
yep,
it's been a hell of a summer.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm glad you got some sleep finally.
Yeah.
What'd you get, about 5-6 hours?
Yeah, I slept in. I slept in until 8 today.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was still midnight, a little after when I went to bed, but I slept in till 8.
Not gonna lie, Mark, the reason I knew most of the stuff I've answered tonight was because I have the drink spreadsheet open right now.
There you go.
I've been updating it as we go. So
I'll throw something out there, brewmaster. If you want to try your hand at a grapefruit shandy, I'll finance that for you for whatever you need for ingredients. I'm interested.
I might take you up on that. Not sure when I'll do it, but I'll keep it in mind.
Yeah, whenever you get to it, we'll
when is your fermenter open? Like a week, 2 weeks? What are we talking here? Huh?
We scheduled about 12 weeks.
Well, if I'm putting one in next week, it'll be about a week after that before the fermenter opens back up. So,
all right. The only grapefruit one I've found so far that's really good that I can get in individuals is the grapefruit Radler. And I can find it at Willikers. That's the only place so far I've found it, but it's like $12 for a 4-pack, and they're pounders at least. But
is that the Grolsch, or who makes that one?
I think it's Radler is the as far as I know, it could be Grolsch. I'm not sure. Radler is the main name on there. Then they have a grapefruit. They have several different flavors. So I don't know if Radler is the name of the company or if that's just a name of the beer. But and Radler is Radlier, I think, something of that nature. I can't spell to begin with, so I'm
the THW.
It's the can orange and white.
What's that?
It's the can orange and white.
Yeah.
over or something like that. Yeah.
Okay, that's Steigl, it looks like.
Oh, yes, those guys. So their grapefruit is really good.
That one is really good. I had that one when the beer hall in Mandan was open a few times.
Okay. I love the Liney's one. I can't get it individually. I got to buy the sampler pack, and I refuse to drink the Line Christmas tree, so I'm not buying the samplers anymore. So.
You know what you can do with those is you can give them to Mark and Howard at least one can apiece and get some content for the show.
There we go. You guys have not had Lime Christmas tree on this show yet, have they?
I mean, we've had some Christmas trees, but I don't know about those.
Oh, do I?
We gotta do a Christmas tree show.
I haven't.
I got some good gins that taste just like Christmas trees.
What's funny is Howard already had a holiday showcase for all the holiday shit beers from like every company. So it's possible he's had this already.
I don't think he did.
Oh, it's a summer beer. Okay.
They do have several other Christmas tree beers, but this is their summer beer specifically. So
he bought quite a few different varieties of the variety packs and things. And oddly enough, and correct me if we've changed so far here, Local Geek, because the interesting thing, Local Geek has created a spreadsheet of all of our beers on tap for every episode.
Well, hell yeah.
So we have a list of the company who's been frequented the most, and it happens to be the Spätzle Brewery in Shiner, Texas. So Shiner Brewing Company, the Shiner Bock, Shiner, etc. They have all of these beers of any flavor you could imagine, and they're all variety packs. And some of them are really good, like Shiner Bock. Shiner Bock is really good.
Absolutely.
Their holiday pack, not so good. Watch those previous episodes. Really, I don't know. I'd say February, March. That would be about the greatest time frame for you to watch to see, because Howard had quite a few, and then I ended up with a couple others that we ended up picking up, and he gave me, and so we would try them. There's it was one of the holiday beers, but it was. How do I describe it? It was supposed to be like a Christmas type beer.
Oh, it was Christmassy.
So not quite like a pine tree sort of mentality, but more of a pecan pie for like Thanksgiving. So it was a pecan beer.
Was it Shells? Shells makes like a pecan lager or something like that.
I'm pretty sure that one was a Spätzle one.
We had the Spätzle Brewing.
Okay.
It was the actual.
It was terrible.
I mean, it wasn't the best, right, Local Geek?
It was not well reviewed. I don't have a out of 5 on that one, but
see, I think what we should do is I'll bring over a couple cans of Lime Christmas Tree. And if Kidder can't figure out what I rearranged on his wall back there before the next episode, he's got to drink one.
There you go.
Well, I know it's been nothing because he hasn't been back.
DVDs included.
Not that you saw.
Oh, not that I saw. All right. Good thing that this whole thing's been recorded.
You guys have only had Leinenkugels on here twice.
Really?
By my record.
Well, we are going to,
and one of them was actually you, JS. The other one was I think Howie.
Okay. Well, I'm assuming it was probably a summer shandy that I had.
It wasn't actually.
Really?
It was a chocolate dunkel.
Oh, yeah, that one was really good. I like that one.
And Mark actually was the other one. He had a collaboration lager.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, okay.
I remember that I had a Leinenkugel because I think the wrap on it, logo paper, et cetera, was like green and almost a Christmas sweater.
Nice.
But the cool thing, we have a brewmaster, Local Geek, curating the total accumulation of beers that we have had in this massive spreadsheet, and a cross-reference between dates, ratings, the beer title, the brewing company, which is also interesting because a couple times we've had water. So it happens that the city of Bismarck is listed on the sheet for supplying the water.
Did you add the coffee?
I do have your coffee on here.
Hey, there we go.
I have Senex on here, and I think I have Holiday on here as well.
See what I'm saying?
I am impressed. Like I am really impressed.
It even goes.
All we need is
having certain drinks
the
and
Untapped,
having certain drinks, and
There you go.
the Untapped app. If we made a profile for Beers, Blues, and BS,
There you
we
go.
kept track.
You guys should do that.
Do the Untapped app, and we just keep track, and you just add it to it every time we have one, and just add it to the app and give your rating.
There we go.
that sounds like a lot of work and money.
A lot of work, zero money involved.
So I guess, hey, wait a minute. Let's back up a second. Local Geek is a smart ass guy, and he's one of them tech giant dudes. He's got all the tech wizardry up in his head. He's probably either got it figured out on his own, or he knows somebody that could figure it out to have an app made that all of us could have, and it would cross-reference if it's been drank on the show before, and if it has, what date it's been had, what rating it had. It would just automatically source that spreadsheet. I mean, Local Geek, he's probably got it already figured out.
You know, you could take the easy way out and just give us and just share the spreadsheet and not have to go through all the expense and finance and everything of creating an app.
Yeah, rude boy.
I mean, the spreadsheet's already shared
an
with
app
Mark
that's
and
already
Howard.
made.
Well, don't all speak at once.
I did update the spreadsheet, though, if you haven't looked, Mark. I added if it was an alcoholic drink or a non-alcoholic drink to the list of what you guys have drank.
Oh, hell
So
yeah.
So you are currently at 99 drinks total,
Ooh.
and 96
One
of them
more.
have been alcoholic.
Do we get one more beer that we can add? Make it 100.
Make it 100 on your birthday?
On Kidder's Facebook. I don't know, man.
Refresh. Look at this. We got
Hey-o. You got the ice.
Is that-
ourselves the old. Oh, thank you.
ICE.
Is that number 100 that you just poured there, Mark?
I mean, I had this earlier in the show as I guess when we were, talking and joining and whatnot. But this, I suppose, with the Dr. Pepper, yes, will be the Centennial Brew / alcoholic beverage. There it is.
Try it like that. I think mine might be one. See, the Dr.
Yes.
Pepper makes a difference, doesn't
Yeah.
it?
It pairs with it so well.
Like-
it's an extra flavor. It's 24 flavors.
Yeah.
So tasty.
Yeah, the 23 flavors and spices and flavors.
Brewmaster's laughing. He's like, that extra one flavor really sets it up. Yeah, alcohol. That's what it does.
I think that's actually how my wife drinks it, is with Dr. Pepper. It's been a few years since she's had it, but I think that's how she has it.
It's a good mixer.
Use Dr. Pepper for a mix with most of the whiskeys, and I haven't found it go bad with one of them yet.
Yeah.
Whatever they put in that magic concoction just blends in with like anything whiskey.
It's all 23 flavors.
Yeah.
Well, even if you want to go the cheap route and do Dr. Pepper and Black Velvet, that's pretty tasty too.
Black Velvet in the night. I'm gonna go with a no on that one.
No.
You got 23 flavors there. One of them's going to work with whatever you put it with.
We got some Black Velvet in the freezer now. I don't know. It was like 2 weeks ago. I'm like, I'm gonna have hell, more than 2 weeks ago, a month ago, whatever. Gonna have a Black Velvet and Coke. Yeah, I made it halfway. Nope.
Do it with pepper. Give it a try.
Nope. Not.
Even the doctor can't resuscitate that drink.
Oh, I've graduated past the Black Velvet and like some of that. I can't.
Oh, that's fine.
Funny thing is, the Rude Boy over there absolutely loved, because in Iowa you can buy alcohol at Sam's Club and Walmart.
Oh, hell yeah.
All the other places. Unlike here, where it has to be in a liquor store off to the side.
Right.
So the difference is down there they actually have like a selection. And it's the Sam's Club brands, the Maker's Mark, but then they also have a lot of the main label brands.
So do they have Maker's Mark? Like, is that a thing?
No, they've got the big bottles of Makers, but Sam's also has their brand version of spiced rum. They have a Johnny Red clone that's pretty on spot.
You can get a Maker's Mark vodka that's exactly bottled and tastes like Grey Goose.
Yeah.
If you want vodka, right? It's a giant thing. But Rude Boy likes to
WTF
to pick up the Maker's Mark versions or Maker's label, or what is that? What it is? That's not Maker's Mark label, but it's
the Sam's Choice.
The Sam's whatever it's called. It's I'd have to find it out, but it's something that if you don't want to pay Johnny Walker or like you said. Was a Grey Goose prices, they've got something that's about less than half of the price for the Sam's version of their vodka or spiced rum, or the only one that I haven't liked is their gin. Gin's kind of really hit or miss for me, but
a good gin is hard to make because it's like it either tastes straight like you're chewing on a Christmas tree, or it tastes really good. There's no in between.
Yeah, it's something that I'd say that you kind of have to bite the bullet and the first time you try it, and you either love it or you hate it. So
anyway, I almost feel like we're at that point where Howard would come in and be like, "Hey, we've been talking for quite a while. You should shut the hell up."
Yeah.
It's only been like 3 hours at this point. So
we've had 100 drinks on this show. Almost.
Cheers to 100 drinks.
It cheers.
Yeah, if you add the 319, the Dubliner, both of the ones that Rude Boy had, we've got to be over 100.
Well, it's
plus the two you had.
It's my 100th drink.
Oh yes,
because we have had a lot of drinks on this show, and it seems that I'm more of the alcoholic on this show. Well, I shouldn't even. Yes, I should say that, because I think Local Geek, correct me if I'm wrong, but there's only been once or twice where I have not had an alcoholic beverage on the show.
You've got 3 non-alcoholics.
See? Look at that. We got the statistician right there.
There you go.
An actual word. Thank you very much. It's right there. We have it in living proof. He's gone back through. He's And I pulled it up.
He's even uploaded it in real time. Holy crap!
He's a magic man,
Right?
He's like Heart.
Oh.
He's a magic man.
Wrote the next lyric to it, but my brain just went totally squirrel, and I couldn't think of the next name.
All you need to do
words.
is bing named, bing named, bing named. Because after
that popped in,
because after the Magic Man, it's the riff. So it's Guitar Hero all over again.
Hey, you guys playing Guitar Hero?
Rudeboy was there. He gets it.
Yeah, it was. Guitar Hero was a good time.
So before we hang this thing up for the night, because we just mentioned that Guitar Hero and Heart and the song, obviously, because Magic Man was in Guitar Hero. Used to have a roommate for a bit of time in college after moved into the first apartment. And his nickname in our group became Toolie. Because he was a bit of a tool. And by bit of a tool, I mean like full-on rager, like weird. Kind of like we were discussing the past couple days with things, like kind of weird.
Yeah. Did he have the tattoo?
No tattoos.
Oh,
no,
okay.
Absolutely no tattoos.
All
like
right.
socially awkward. The only chick that would probably marry him was marrying his twin brother.
Ah,
So,
there we
I
go.
mean, it also leads to the question of, do they share her? Do they like...
You mean there's no small stuffed teddy bear?
There was no teddy bear that I remember.
Okay.
However, there was a Playboy blanket, which whenever he would invite friends over, he would fold it in half so you wouldn't see that it's a Playboy blanket. There is also like an origami folded Subway sandwich wrapper that had been, of course, used as, from a sandwich, placed on a shelf.
Nice.
I don't know why.
Was it the standard swan, or was it something cool?
No, just folded. Like it wasn't anything.
Oh.
It was just folded, put on a shelf. Why is it there? What does this matter? Is there drugs? What does this mean? I don't even know. So fast forward a month, basically, because he really lived with me for, I don't know, 4 months before I'm like, get the hell out of my place. Like, you're awkward. Which on the move out, he ended up shaving like his body into the bathtub shower of the master, which was his room. So you walk in and you're like, there's like, a bear come in here? What is this? It's all like black pubes and hair like all over the tub. I'm like, what is this? Turn on the shower and just get rid of all of that and then grab the bleach and like holy water, and you're doing I don't know, one of those holy sessions. But with this specific instance, I had invited Rudeboy, and Howard was there. A few other friends of ours were invited and had come over, and we were having, a beer or whatever.
17.
I mean,
It's college. It was 17.
we really couldn't have a party though because of the apartment rules. Like there were some older people who lived in the building and managers, and so then they're like, "What are you guys doing?" Like, so you couldn't like be loud and etc. So we were playing Guitar Hero.
Yeah.
And it was Xbox 360. I had actually back over there have the two guitars yet. So we were playing co-player. So one could play guitar, one could play bass. And we were just playing Guitar Hero. I actually have photos of this. Rudeboy looking like he's 12 at this point. His little goatee.
I gotta get rid of that. Takes about 10 years off the age when I get rid of this.
Mustache action. Huh?
So sitting there playing and we're having a good time. I don't know. We'd been there for a good half hour, 45 minutes at this point, and we're laughing. Oh, you should try this song. Like, yeah, you try playing this and you're going to screw it up, whatever, laughing. I'm sitting in my computer chair, which was off to the side. And I mean, we had, I don't know, what, 6 of us, Rude Boy, maybe 7.
Yeah, it was about that. It was a good crowd.
And we're all in my room because that's where my TV was. And out of the corner of my eye, I look out the door, which would be to the kitchen area, which is the island, the sink, the cabinets, etc. And I see him standing on the opposite side of the island, like in the dark, basically, staring. I'm like, he's over by the island. And they're like, what? I'm like, he's like in the shadows watching us. And so we kind of like look at him like, okay. And so he comes closer. And now he's around the corner. He's like,
you guys playing Guitar Hero?
yeah.
Circle gets the square.
Yeah, we're playing Guitar Hero. You got something to drink? You want to join us?
Okay.
And he stood there for another like 5 minutes and then left.
Yeah.
And we're like, what is he doing? What just happened?
Yeah, it was a little awkward.
The best one, I should leave it for when Howard is with us, but I'm gonna ruin it for him. So at one point, Rude Boy was our couch guy. This was later. Okay, so Howard earlier had been our couch guy.
Everybody has been the couch guy at one point in time.
Right. So at this point, Rude Boy had not yet lived with us. Howard had finished his college portion, student teaching, doing different things, and he got a job with LM Glass Fiber. I suppose I shouldn't call them out directly. He was making turbine blades.
I worked out there too.
And working the third shift, which was from
me too,
like 5 p.m. to what, 3 a.m. Ish.
Yeah,
somewhere there.
My third shift was midnight to 8 a.m.
Okay, so maybe it was second shift.
Yeah, that was my third shift, but I worked security out there, so we were technically a different agency, but yeah.
So he'd typically go in the afternoon, late afternoon, and work until like his scheduled off time was 2 or 3. But sometimes if they're behind, it would be like 8 a.m.
Yeah.
So as him being the couch guy, he'd come home and he's tired as hell. He'd get ready for bed, brush his teeth, whatever, put the blanket on, he out on the couch. Because he brought the couch is a 1970 whatever floral couch.
Was it a high bed?
No.
Oh,
just the couch.
Just the floral couch?
Heavy as hell, but that sumbitch was comfortable because you'd sit down in it. Oh, take a nap immediately.
My parents had the floral couch in their house.
It was probably
like
the
30 years.
same damn thing. I bet. Like everybody in the 70s had this heavy as hell couch.
That was my workout tool when I was like, aside from square bells, when I was like 10 years old, 8 years old, whatever, I'd crawl under the couch and just sit and bench press the couch.
Yeah. Some bitch is heavy. So he'd come home whenever he's done. And this is also, I might add, when he had to shave because they had to wear respirators.
Yep.
So
he worked on that line.
So he had to shave,
Yeah.
which he was pissed about. And he looked like he was iron. He looked like he was 12.
There's no double in there in that.
Not yet, but
there we go.
Thank you. There,
added to that.
There will
Poor
be.
sound right there.
Okay. So again, shaved, looks like he's 12. He's tired as hell, comes home, and he lays down. He goes to bed. He's got the blanket. He's laying there. He's asleep. He's getting some good sleep because I wouldn't wake him up.
Right.
I wouldn't make noise. Like, I had my area, and I wasn't going to, cause a scene loud enough where he's going to wake up, because I didn't want to be that asshole that wakes him up, right?
Right.
He's trying to get things done, make some money, etc. Anyway, so what he would typically do, because of the hours that he would work, he'd get worn out, he'd be sleeping. So he would sleep until maybe 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yep.
Because again, he's working that time period late enough and early enough where he would try and get 8 hours of sleep, and it would be late enough into the day where he then go back into work and, not be a zombie and, I don't know, sand stuff and like lose his hand because he doesn't know what he's doing.
Some of the stuff in that plant is not fun.
The glue.
The resin. And
the resin. He would talk about the resin, where if you spilled it on your paper suit, it would burn through the suit and straight through your clothing and onto your skin and then burn through your arm or whatever.
That stuff is nasty.
Because it's nasty.
Yeah.
So he's like, you got to be constantly knowing what you're doing while you're there. So you have to be aware and like rested.
Yeah.
So again, he's sleeping on the couch. Well, it just so happened Toolie had an IT job at the university. So he had, 8 to 5 hours and would be like mandated to take lunch at 11:45 until 1 o'clock or whatever. So he'd come home by 12, have lunch. Not so, I don't want to say knowledgeable, but let's say aware of other people. So he'd come home and he would make a salad every day, which, by the way, Dorothy Lynch dressing is the quintessential element of any salad.
I have some of that in my fridge right now, actually. It's good stuff.
You're not helping. Rude boy knows.
It's good.
So,
it's good.
The ham slices,
salad. It's good with everything, man.
the cutting board.
So this is when it comes into play.
He didn't know how to make a salad.
When I just lost a drop somewhere. That's an Angels cut.
Do you know what you're doing?
I do. That was for the Angels.
Ah, gotcha.
So when he comes home from lunch every day, or for lunch, so every day he comes home, he gets out all the shit to make his lunch, and it's a freaking salad. So you're like, how much crap can you put on a salad? He gets out the ham and the cheese and the whatever, the croutons and the Dorothy Lynch dressing, the quintessential element to every salad, which he later told a chick, and that's why it's the quintessential element to every salad.
Oh,
because he's bragging about how he makes a salad. Yeah. So he puts a piece of ham on a freaking plate, and this is like sandwich ham. It's sliced ham that you put on a freaking sandwich.
uh-huh.
He puts it on a plate. He grabs a knife. And then, because obviously there's strips now, you got to turn it 90 degrees. So he does that. No.
That was annoying as shit.
No, it's not going to do it. No, that's not even the same. Don't break my glass.
No,
It's not even the same.
can't do it.
That's how he would do it. How do you do this? Every day. Every day.
You wouldn't use a damn cutting board. You just use
No,
the
don't use a
ceramic
cutting
plates.
Don't buy the stuff that's already diced for you. No, you take a thinly sliced piece of ham
Or just peel it by hand.
ceramic plate, grab a knife, and then specifically cut it in a slow enough manner where it across the plate. Now, I never heard it because I was either awake and gone or my door was closed and had like enough ambient noise to cut that out. Poor Howard. He's sleeping in the same, open air environment because he's in the living room and the kitchen's right there. And he's like off in La La Land. And then all of a sudden, so I feel bad for Howard because he's probably still having nightmares about that sound. And I'm sure it's probably at this point PTSD. So if we got like a ceramic plate and a knife, just like a butter knife.
So you're saying the next time that we get Howard out to dinner,
Yep.
I need to cut if I cut steak, I need to make damn sure that
Do what you can on a ceramic plate with like a butter knife. Just yeah.
All right, game on.
And I'm sad because Rudeboy didn't get to experience. Obviously, the local geek.
Oh, I remember him doing it, but it was just something where I was awake. I didn't have Howard's schedule, but it was something that I saw him doing that, and I was just like,
Remember,
you're not doing something right.
As Howie Blues would say, well, we've been talking for quite a while. It's time for some cheap plugs. Unlike Mark Henry. You know who Mark Henry is? Mark Henry?
Well, I know like the old school Mark Henry, the old guy with the hammers. But
not
that
that
was
Mark
John
Henry.
Henry.
John Henry, yes. This is Mark Henry.
The wrestler?
Wrestling, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Hall of Famer, working with AEW and now interviews people backstage, basically.
Yeah.
Well, guys, there's been enough talk. It's time for the main event. That's really his big thing in the past year. So, what you can do watching or listening is visit us at beerbluesbs.com. That's your home in cyberspace for everything related to Beer Blues and BS, including merchandise, our Facebook page, Spotify, YouTube, everywhere else that we are broadcast. beerbluesbs.com right here at the bottom of your screen. Sorry, I got in your face. So, beerbluesbs.com. So at the bottom, beerbluesbs.com. Again, the place where you can find us. And as I mentioned, you can find us on Facebook. Please like the show on Facebook. Share it with your friends because sharing is caring, and we want to expand the Triple B family because when you listen to the show, your family, you know what I'm saying? Your family. Your family. It's like we share the pasta, but you got to take it in smaller bites.
He just wants you to buy him a drink.
Oh, buy me a drink is totally fine. That's also at beerbluesbs.com where you can buy us a beer. It doesn't have to be a beer. I mean, if you want to buy us, a Dubliner, perhaps, which we drank half the bottle tonight.
Yeah,
that's pretty damn
I
good.
have done a number on that, said their Irish whiskey.
That's pretty damn good. I'm not complaining at all. And thank you again for sharing that. Howie Blues bringing us tonight's What's on Tap. Apparently. That's what the graphic says. It says at the bottom of the screen. I know, right?
I don't know where you're going with this.
I'm going with what it says. I mean, both Local Geek and Rude Boy are like, where are we? What's happening? Are we still doing this show? Well, let's finish the cheap plugs because, as I said, you can buy us a beer, buy us a whole... $7.50 of tasty liquor if you want. Whatever the case is, beerbluesbs.com. Click the buy us a beer link right there. On the bottom of the screen, you get the graphic with your name. And if you type us a message, did you know that? You could type us a message.
No.
And then we read it on the air.
I did not know that. I may have to start doing that. When we start doing these live shows, I might have to start writing you some messages.
It's going to be a message. I don't know if it's going to be show appropriate, but it'll be there. It'll be there. The bottom of the show, beerbluesbs.com, right here on the screen. There's that. For the audio versions, we are on every audio platform from iHeartRadio, which, of course, is one of the biggest platforms on the planet for podcasts and music.
Heck yeah.
Also, Pandora, Everybody's got a Pandora account,
I still have mine from college.
right? You see what I'm saying? So you can subscribe to us at Beer Blues NBS. Just search it right there in the app, and then you get us right there. We're also on iTunes.
There you go.
So Apple Music, if you're in the Apple world. If you're on the Google world, we're on Google Podcasts and the Google Play Store. We're also on TuneIn and IMDb and a bunch of different places. And so I know you for a fact have had the different audio platforms, and you searched Beer Blues and BS, and you subscribed to us.
I did.
So thank
I
you.
did.
Thank you for that. We're on pretty much every audio platform that's out there, which is, I know, crazy to think, but we're kind of a big deal, and we want to share it with you. And you, as the people listening or watching, are the big things about this to be part of the show. So please subscribe and share on any and all platforms. We really appreciate that. So anyway, we're talking about Beer Blues and BS again everywhere, and the video version on YouTube. If you want to watch the show, see the behind the scenes, see the extras that are put into the video. Howard likes to comment on things. Future Howard.
He does.
There are those things that he comments on, and sometimes he puts things in various places on the screen. So you got to watch out and Nickelback isn't really that big of a band, but they're suddenly behind you somewhere. And I'm sure you put them right there.
They have. Put them right in there with that thing I rearranged in your wall.
Howard, I try to like you, and I'd give you a drink, but you do stuff like that. And now we're here. So, anyway.
I got a drink for him for all the hard work he does.
Oh,
there you go.
You're right. You got a drink for him. So it's good that he's not putting stuff behind you. Like the Farmer's Daughter or whatever beer that you had there.
Farm Girl. Get it right.
Farm Girl. I'm sorry. It's not the daughter. These days, do you know?
She probably is a farmer's daughter.
Okay. Do not look up CSAM.
Don't. What'd you say there, Local Geek? Did you have something?
I said she probably is a farmer's daughter. I mean, farm girl typically grows up on a farm.
She's somebody's daughter, and damn it, be nice. Okay. Before we get into any more trouble or get censored or removed from YouTube, please join us at beerbluesbs.com and click on all the above. So at this point, I want to open it up for the final comments for everyone on the show. And since I'm, gabbing right now and JS is right next to me, you got any closing comments for us?
Kidder, I think we have covered just about every topic that any of us can come up with tonight. So signing off as the fastest gun here in the upper Midwest, it is the JS Gunslinger. Have a good night, everybody.
Yeah. Glad to be here, and it's always a good time to be on the show, and happy birthday to Mr. Mark Kidder.
Thanks, Rudeboy. Local Geek.
Yeah, definitely happy to be here again. Happy birthday to you, even though it's no longer your birthday.
No.
But that's okay. We can keep the party going for however long it needs to go, right?
Super Kick Party! Yeah, it goes until the party stops. So if you don't stop the party, it keeps going, right?
And hopefully we'll be
Cheers.
back here in a couple weeks with another beer for you guys to try.
Awesome.
This might be the longest episode yet.
I'm sure Howard's going to cut out about a third of this. So, we'll probably be short on time at this point. He's like, what are you guys talking about here? Oh, we'll just cut that. It's fine. In fact, right about now, he'll probably cut it.
You have been listening to a
I don't know.
Right.
We'll end up seeing in the final version. It'll be good. So for our brewmaster himself, the Local Geek, for Rudeboy Kyle, live in living color down from Des Moines has given the thumbs up, and in person right over here in living color, that's JS Gunslinger. I am the man, the myth, legend, the man, Mark Kidder. Thanks for joining us for this and every edition of Beer Blues and BS. We do appreciate it. Please remember, keep your glass at least half full. There's free beer tomorrow, and we will catch you on down that old dusty Tuscan highway. You have a good one. We'll see you on the next episode of Beer Blues and BS.
You have been listening to a UA production of Beer, Blues, and BS. If you enjoyed the show, help others find out about it by rating the show or leaving a review at your podcast listening service of choice. Thanks for listening, and may your glass never be empty. UA Productions presents A Glimpse Behind the Curtain.
It is actually.
There you go.
Yeah, he actually has absinthe over at his place. It's not the drive you crazy mad stuff that's, illegal, but he has absinthe.
I almost got some lettuce opium tonight, but I didn't. I decided to not go with that one. So I have Bluetooth if there's a way to hook this up, and then I have a mic.
That's true.
I don't know if that'll work. If we're gonna get like weird,
It'd probably screw with it. What would be funny is if you joined from your phone from right there, connected to your Bluetooth, so then it's you here, but then it shows your face here all of a sudden. That would be a total.
I mean, we could do that. I don't care.
Total mind is what it would
That's
be.
up to you.
And yes, future Howard, that one's for you if you use this in Behind the Curtain. Yeah.
Flash the camera.
He's got a kilt. Watch out.